Come on. Ah, here we are. All right. So, um, we are now live streaming on YouTube and on Facebook. And in a minute, I will share that with my guest today. Welcome to Any Sunday Songwriters. My guests today are Alice DeMissel. Am I saying it correctly, Alice? You need to unmute to answer that question.
DiMaselli.
DiMaselli. Good. Okay. And she's on the West Coast in California. And we also have
Oregon.
Oregon. Okay. We also have Bert Lee. And he is here from New York, from upstate New York, I think. Yes? Brooklyn. Oh, downstate then. Not even. Okay. And we will be starting in just a moment as soon as I get the record turned on. And record. Yes, I know, because I did that. So, Alice, why don't you kick us off? Tell us a little about yourself and sing us a song. You're still muted, hon.
I'm sorry. I was trying to find the live stream so I could share it
I'll get
before
it
we
to you.
started.
I'll get it to you. You haven't got
Okay.
it yet.
All right. Oh, okay. I can't share
Yeah.
it to anybody. So.
Okay.
Can't
And
invite
also
anybody.
check and make sure about your original sound before you begin. But first, tell us something about yourself.
Oh, goodness. Something about myself. I am a singer-songwriter. I have been touring for over 35 years. I've have 17 albums that I've released independently. In my youth, I radically rejected the idea of doing major label stuff and forged my own way. And my first albums came out long before Ani DeFranco. And then things have changed and it's become a little more friendly towards indies, or it's up and down with that. It's like sometimes it's more friendly, sometimes it's not. It's very interesting. And yeah, I love playing music. I love people. I sometimes I can't stand people too because we are a strange lot and we like to make messes where we don't need to. And part of my job, I guess, is to just try to express the emotion that we feel and give us an opportunity to drop in with each other and feel those things and create a container for those things so that we have safe place to feel and to deal with our stuff, and then we have it helps us with our lives. That's how I see music. It's such a blessing to me that it gives me an opportunity to be able uh to kind of process things and build community with people all along the way. So I am going to do a song for you. I feel like I'm kind of in a portal right now in my life. I'm in a pretty major transition in my age group, if you know what I'm saying. So this is a song I wrote many years ago, and it's kind of like coming home. I'm feeling it much more, and I'm like, oh, now I understand that song a little more than I did when I wrote it when I was back in my like early 40s maybe or something. So it's kind of interesting how that works. Sometimes songs become deeper as time goes on. I am a snake shedding my skin. I let go of old ways, let the new journey begin, and I am afraid can't stop the tide. The moon waxes full, and these waves take me for a ride. And I am a girl learning to dance, growing into my body with outstretched and open hands. I've got open hands. Love's beyond words, love's beyond time. Life's what I feel in this heart and this soul and these hands of mine. And I am a crone, withered and worn, with baskets of memories of births and loves and wars. And I am a seed waiting below. And when the time's just right, I'll sprout and grow, spreading my wings. I release, let go the reins and find peace. Love's beyond words, love's beyond time. Life's what I feel in this heart and this soul and these hands of mine. Love's beyond words, love's beyond time. Life's what I feel in this heart and this soul and these hands of mine. I am a snake, shedding my skin. I let go of old ways, let the new journey begin. Let it begin, a new journey begins. Let it begin, a new journey begins. Let it begin.
That was lovely.
Thank you.
So, Bert, what have you got for us? Tell us about yourself and sing us a song.
Okay, well, I'm 76 years old this year, and I'm looking at this as being a really bizarre year for us both personally, nationally, and globally. And so I'm setting myself some projects just to keep my mind off of the craziness of the world. And one of the main projects which I'll be sharing with you through the songs I'm offering here today relate to a family history of mine. And so I will tell you when this song or whatever song it is, how it relates to that family history and a little bit about myself. Now, I was born overseas in Mexico, well, actually over the river in Mexico, as it were. And my dad took us around the world, and then we didn't come to the States until I was 12. And we lived in Florida, then we lived in upstate New York, and bit by bit I was able to piece together some of the history of my family. And I found it absolutely fascinating because my dad was a very secretive man. So when I started to find the secrets, I was inspired by them. So almost all the songs I'm going to offer now and through the spring while I'm putting together the project called Butterfly Songs of the Haunted Prairie will in one way or another relate to songs of the Old West, which is where my grandfather and my grandmother, on both sides of my family, all came together and made the family happen. Now this first song was where I should have first had my intimation about my grandfather and his shenanigans, and it's a song about money, which he wanted lots of and didn't make much of. And so this tune is called "The Money Isn't Real," and it's a ragtime tune. So I hope you enjoy it. My grandpa was a grifter, a gambler and a heel. He snuck around from town to town and dealt a dirty deal. He went out in the wild world to steal what he could steal. You know he stole a fortune, but the money wasn't real. No, the money wasn't real. Funny how it is, you know now the money wasn't real. He set out as a bandit, he came back empty-handed. He should have been a rich man, but the money wasn't real. Now the Pharaoh was a miser, his story has been told. He had 10,000 workers build the pyramid to hold all his statues and his trappings and his caskets and his gold. He wanted to have everything, but all he got was old, 'cause none of it was real. Funny how it is, you know now, none of it was real. His monument so grand just got covered up by sand. Now he's just another mummy man, 'cause none of it was real. A poor man buys a loaf of bread, he shares it and it's gone. A rich man wrecks his portion, yet his wealth keeps rolling on. And the good things that you've said and done are nothing you can pawn. 'Cause when you're in the underclass, you're always overdrawn. 'Cause the money isn't real. Funny how it is, you know now the money isn't real. You can follow all the rules made by idiots for fools, and you think you'll get your just reward, but you won't. You won't pick up a penny, you might spare a dime. A dollar buys a pretty meager way to waste your time. A scene don't get you groceries, and a grand might buy a thrill. You might shake in a shitload and still not get your fill. Hey, I live in America, a country built on greed, and I suppose that's not a bad thing if you just take what you need. But it seems everyone's afflicted by a hunger to exceed. Why should one man have a billion when there's a million mouths to feed? 'Cause the money isn't real. Funny how it is, you know now the money isn't real. You can burn it, you can earn it, but in the end you'll learn that it all amounts to nothing. And now this is the part where I talk. Well, I bought me some insurance in case I pass away. I've heard that could happen, and who am I to say? I might live forever, then they'd never have to pay. Oh, shit, who would be the loser then if it all turned out that way? Because the money isn't real. Funny how it is, you know now the money isn't real. You can spend it, you can lend it, but you'll find that in the end, it all amounts to nothing. Yes, it's funny how it all amounts to nothing. So funny how it all amounts to nothing, 'cause the money isn't.
Nope. That was wonderful. I love how you have written songs about your family. Yes. So, I am Jan Seides. I'm the host of this show and very excited to be so. And welcome to, let's see, it's really hard to see from this distance, but welcome to you. So I was reminded about this song by somebody who is a recording student and offered to do this as his class project. This song won a prize a long time ago, and that was where he found out about it. And it is the culmination of negative relationships. Hold on just a second. I'm sorry. I just can't do that to your ears. And more importantly, I can't do it to mine. Or less importantly, I don't know. We tune because we care, right? Wake up. Okay, take two. Nope. What's your major malfunction here? I'm so sorry. This is, I know, entirely unprofessional, but so is playing out of tune. I have often said if I ever make any real money at this, I don't want sidemen, I want a roadie. I've been around and I have learned a thing or two. I've got a feeling I should pass this on to you. When it comes to love, you may have pain or delight. When it comes to trust, you better do it right. 'Cause all it takes is one little lie, one little fast and loose, one little story, one little twist in the truth. One lie and then the damage is done. Your little baby is gone. No, I ain't saying love will walk right out the door. It may stay by your side, but not like before. 'Cause where there's one lie, who knows, there might be another. So the distrust grows till you lose your lover. All it takes is one little lie, one little fast and loose, one little story, one little twist in the truth. One little lie and then the damage is done. Your little baby, your baby is gone. No need to tell you how this story ends. A lipstick stain, a call from some well-meaning friend. No need to bore you with what happened to me. All I'll say is I'm wiser than I used to be. And all it takes is one little lie, one little fast and loose, one little story. one little twist in the truth, one little lie, and then the damage is done. Your little baby, your baby is gone. One lie, fast and loose, one little story, one little messing with the truth, one little lie, and then the damage is done. Your little baby, your own sweet baby, your baby is gone. Thank you. So we're going to keep doing this round and round until they throw us out of here.
All right, I'm going to do a song that's a co-write with my friend Brett Levick. I wrote the song and he said, I'd like to change this one part and do some stuff. And I was like, all right, that's fine. He kind of messed with the chords a little bit while we were making my record. This is on an album that I did during the pandemic that was released in 2022. It's called Every Seed We Plant, and the song is called For Granted. Please don't take my love for granted. I'll give you all I've got and more. Can't you see my heart is planted in this garden next to yours? Baby, please spend a little time with me, 'cause I need to feel your love tenderly. When you go out in this great big world, won't you keep me on your mind? 'Cause I know there's beauty everywhere. What we share is one of a kind. Baby, spend a little time with me, 'cause I need to feel your love tenderly. And all I ask is no pretending. If you feel your love's not true, let me know this thing is ending. Baby, don't make me a fool. planted. I'll give you all I've got and more. Can't you see my heart is planted in this garden next to yours? Can't you see my heart is planted forever next to
I love that.
Thank you.
That's a right lovely song. Very soulful. Very soulful. All right. Okay, this is I'm releasing a book of all the songs I've written since 1967 that are any good. There's about 60 songs in the collection with chords and profusely illustrated, and the underlying theme of the book seems to be songs of the earth and its passengers. So I gave that the title to the book, and you'll find that on Amazon, where all of my books can be found. And this is the song that kind of started me on the path of putting that book together, and it's a song dedicated to a plastic bag that just won't go away. Plastic bag blows down the street, gets tangled in a tree. Chances are another breeze will come and break it free and blow it down the alley through the back lots to the beach, where a child may try to catch it, but it sails right past her reach. It floats out on the ocean, it settles on the tide, and a passing whale may swallow it, and it gets lodged inside. Run, Jenny, run, come look what's washed up on the sand. Come and see the gentle giant that's been slain by unknown hand. It's not your fault, and it's not mine. It didn't happen by design. It makes us sad, it makes no sense. It's only unintended consequence. An old man has a cardboard shop in a weed-choked vacant lot. He's long since quit regretting all the things he hasn't got. He seeks no help from strangers, and he lives as best he can. People say he's homeless, but I say he's just a man. He comes down to my street and lays a blanket on the ground, and he makes a meager livelihood from some things that he has found. He might accept a quarter, but he'll settle for a dime, till the police come and stop him, 'cause they say that that's a crime. It's not your fault, and it's not mine. It didn't happen by design. It makes us sad, it makes no sense. It's only unintended consequence. The hills have caught on fire since the summer brought us drought. The rangers fight it day and night, but they can't put it out. The people here are used to it, it happens every year. When a thing becomes familiar, we lose all sense of fear. The weather lady tells us that there's not much chance for rain. The scientist predicted this, and the Christians all are praying. But as for me, I'll find a quiet hill to watch it from, to practice my acceptance of the things that surely come. It's not my fault and it's not yours. Sometimes it's parched, sometimes it pours. There's no blame here to dispense. There's only unintended consequence. It's not their fault and it's not ours. We'll shift the blame to higher powers. Let's just say it was a long chain of events that led to unintended consequence.
Oh my.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Given the events of this week, I kind of feel like I should do at least one empowerment song. It started out as female empowerment, and now it's up for grabs. Whoever wants to be empowered is certainly welcome to. And it's brand new. First, make a list, all the qualities you missed on your previous attempts. Next, make a plan, all the places that someone like that might frequent. Call all your friends, let them know you're on the mend from your last affair. Consult your horoscope, seize the moment, and say a little prayer. And then you wait, you hurry up and wait. Be at the right place, at the right time to meet your soulmate. Just you wait, gently knocking on the gates of love sublime. It's just a matter of patience and timing in the tango for one. Improve yourself, pay attention to your health, learn a new dance. Go on a trip, give your blues the slip, change your circumstance. Exercise your brain, learn a new language, do something just for fun. Get your fortune told, buy new clothes, you may already have won. Still you wait, you hurry up and wait. Be at the right place, at the right time to meet your soulmate. You just wait, gently knocking on the gates of love sublime. It's just a matter of patience and timing in the tango for one. Sooner or later, you're gonna notice a change. Your own company ain't half as bad as they claim, and it's not a cause for shame. You can't afford to wait. Hurry hurry up and wait. Be at the right place at the right time to meet your soulmate. You just wait. You'll be entering the gates of love sublime. It's just a matter of patience and timing in the tango for one. It's all about patience and timing. It's the tango for one. Thank you.
I like it.
Thank you. I like the background too.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Okay, so I'm going to take us into gardening mode. I wrote this song. I guess I won't tell the whole darn story because it's kind of long and I don't want to take up too much of the time since it's a round robin. But I will say that it is dedicated to my friend, grandmother Agnes Baker Pilgrim, who was the eldest living member of her tribe, the Tequilma tribe, which is the tribe that resides still, but has traditionally resided in the area that I live in, Medford, Oregon, in Southern Oregon. And Grandma was very generous with teachings and and she was very patient with those of us who were not members of her tribe, teaching about how to love water and how to take care of water. And when she passed away, her granddaughter called and asked if I would sing at her memorial. And I had planned on playing a different song, but Grandma had something else in mind. And I literally wrote this song 10 minutes before leaving the house and had to go play it. So hopefully I know it a little better now than I did back then when I wrote it. But it's a prayer, and it's a reminder to myself that every little thing that I do matters. All the little things add up to the big things. And yeah, so anyway, it's called Every Seed We Plant, and I ended up titling my album Every Seed We Plant. So all right, here we go. Every seed we plant is love. Every seed we plant is life. We must gather seeds to plant. We must gather seeds to share. It's how our people survive the past. It's how our children go on from here. Every seed we plant is life. Every seed we plant is peace. And when the winds of hatred blow and the drums of war resound, we must care for those in need. We must search for common ground. is hope. We must nurture living soil. We must give thanks for the rain. And in this work, we'll find our joy. Every breath we breathe through grace. Every seed we plant is hope. Every seed we plant is love.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's really, it's all true. It's all true. Now, I can wax really serious, and I like to do that, but my history as a songwriter is that I started out by writing kind of goofy songs. When I started writing, I was 16 years old, and some of this got fed by a band that I joined a little bit later during the 70s called the Central Park Sheiks, the Eastern Kings of Western Swing. And we were famous for going down the rabbit hole of silliness. And I took a Django Reinhardt riff and turned it into this song. So this is a little more lighthearted approach to what I do, and a little jazzier approach than most that I do. The tune is based on a Django and a Stefan Grappelli riff called Daphne. So they wrote the music, I wrote the lyrics, and they don't care because, let's face it, they're dead. So this is Daphne, and here we go. Well, it's springtime on the Champs-Élysées, little breeze stirring in the trees, listening to the birds and bees and thinking about my Daphne. You can keep your Spanish ladies, your Fraulines and your Rose O'Grady's, and I'm as happy as a man can be just to have my Daphne. She's an eyeful, my oh my, you know she makes me want to flap and fly. 2, 3. Can she, can, man, oh man, there is nothing sweeter than her kisses, just like sips of wine. When she says she's mine, all mine, you know she leaves me speechless as a mime. I'm crazy about her. She's the rave of old King Louis, lacy dress and parapluie. Shout out ooh la la and ooh-wee. I'm crazy about my Daphne, with her kisses just like sips of wine. When she says she's mine, all mine, she leaves me speechless as a mime. And I'm crazy about her, crazy. Boodly boodly boodle, boodly beedle bottom doodle dooba dooba, boodly beedle bottom doodle 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 dooba doodle 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 beedle doodle bop, a tweet tweet meet meet me nee 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 nee. I love Paris every moment of the year. I love Paris oh, why do I love Paris? Because my love is near. What a pleasure, what a treasure, mon petit bijou.
Wow.
In case you're wondering, that's Apollo and Daphne behind me.
There you go. Well done. Can't quite make it out. I can see Daphne. Apollo.
Yeah, Apollo's over there.
Yeah. Is that Bernini? Is that a Bernini sculpture?
I have no idea. I was just sporadically looked for something that represented Daphne. It's really hard to find something that's not the word.
Yeah. Well, this is a similar sentiment to Alice's song, not quite as beautiful and not quite as silly as Daphne, and certainly not as jazzy, but it's mine own and I love it. I will not be leaving without a struggle. No one will have to say, don't go gently to that good night. I'll be kicking and screaming and hanging on to the door jambs, protesting all the way that I'm not done with this life. I want to see peace. I want to see joy. I want to hear the truth without the noise. I want to see justice with my own eyes. And then I'll be ready and I'll say goodbye. Maybe. Maybe not. I believe Moses looked like Charlton Heston. And I believe he had a word with God. All I want to know is, when is it my turn? 'Cause I'm thinking miracles can't be all that hard. I want to see peace. I want to see joy. I want to hear the truth without the noise. I want to see justice, there she is, with my own eyes. And then I'll be ready and I'll say goodbye. I want to see the face of peace. I want to hear the voice of truth. I want to know that dream is real, and then I'll make that choice. But first, I want to see peace. I want to see joy. I want to hear the truth, but hold the noise. I want to see justice with my own eyes, and then I'll be ready and I'll say goodbye. And then I'll be ready. Ah. Thank you.
There you are with your own eyes.
Yes. Well, that's a statue of justice.
Well, nothing you see here is real.
And not even the money, according to Bert.
So, okay, question. You can answer in the chat, or you can give me thumbs ups or thumbs downs. Do y'all sing at home? Will you do a sing along? I mean, it's kind of weird on Zoom, but I got used to it during the pandemic. But if you're interested, I'd love to teach you a song. I will admit that this song is what they call an earworm. But it's a fun earworm, and it goes like this. The chorus goes like this. Whoa, 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 I'm made out of water. Water is the only thing can quench my thirst, and I'm always trying to get back to the water from that very first breath on my day of birth. Oh, I have a favor. Keisha, would you put the lyrics in the chat for me so that everyone could see them? The lyric, the whoa, ho, ho, I'm made out of water. You know this song, don't you? Where is she? Is she actually here still? Would you mind typing them in? Give me a thumbs up if you will.
I will. I just took myself off mute for a second.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right,
Okay.
so I have
All right.
everybody.
Just go into the chat and then type the lyric. Whoa, I'm made out of water. Water's the only thing. You know the song.
All right.
This is my friend Keisha. She lives up on Orcas Island. And okay, mute yourself again though, because I'm going to start singing, and it'll
Hi,
be
Keisha.
weird. All right. Okay, great. Whoa, 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 I'm made out of water. Water is the only thing can quench my thirst. And I'm always trying to get back to the water from that very first breath on my day of birth. Whoa, 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 I'm made out of water. Water's the only thing, water is the only thing can quench my thirst. And I'm always trying to get back to the water from that very first breath on my day of birth. So when it comes around, you can sing it with me from your living room. And you don't have to worry about anybody thinking you're singing out of tune, because they're not going to hear you anyway. I always think it evens out, because you could sing flat, the person next to you will sing sharp, and it all balances. It's all good. I was baptized as a little child. They took me into the church to save my soul, and the priest prayed to his God above as he dipped my little body in that water bowl. Whoa, 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 I'm made out of water. Water is the only thing can quench my thirst, and I'm always trying to get back to the water from that very first breath on my day of birth. Then one day I found myself on an island. I dove into the ocean, so warm and sweet, and the songs came, shook me to my spirits like the big waves crashing on that white sand beach. Then you came and took me down to the river, down to the thing, helped me get into a little red boat, and held my hand, said, baby, flip on over. Oh, the goddess loves the rhythm of this rock and roll. Whoa, 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 I'm made out of water. Water is the only thing can quench my thirst, and I'm always trying to get back to the water from that very first breath on my day of birth. Oh, oh, yeah. Now I live by the rushing rhythm of a beautiful snow-fed mountain creek, and I pray each day to gain a little wisdom as I let the cold water baptize me. I am a woman guided by emotion, dancing to the groove of the ebb and flow, and the moon pulls on me like she pulls on the ocean. I'm her current from my head down to my little toe. Whoa, 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 I'm made out of water. Water is the only thing can quench my thirst, and I'm always trying to get back to the water from that very first breath on my day of birth. Whoa, 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 I'm made out of water. Water is the only thing quench my thirst, and I'm always trying to get back to the water from that very first breath on my day of birth.
All right, Alice.
Splendid.
Thank you.
Splendid.
I hope you were singing. I saw some of you singing.
I
for
was
sure.
singing in harmony.
Yay! That's what I love.
Well, you know, water is indispensable. There's no question about that whatsoever. It's almost as indispensable to songwriters as, you know, misery and all of that. So I wrote a song about water. This is a song about water. But it's a different reason for water here. This tune is called Water Everywhere. And it's about how people flow around the landscape like rivers looking for a place to settle. And how we have to live with the idea that the water goes where it will. And that's what people do. So you see, you can beat the hell out of any metaphor into submission. So I hope you enjoy. This is called Water, Water Everywhere. Special thanks to Coleridge. Our old Italian neighborhood has turned Chinese maybe for good. Water, water everywhere. The ghetto has been gentrified. The first folks have been pushed aside. Doesn't matter if it's fair. It's the same thing everywhere. Now the Indians that once lived here, they made their trade in hunting deer. Water, water everywhere. They made a bargain with the Dutch that really didn't leave them much. But the Dutchmen didn't care. So much water everywhere. Well, the water just goes where it will. You know it always flows downhill. Rivers running everywhere. And who are you and I to kid? It just does what it always did. It just goes where it's meant to be, flowing till it finds the sea. Water, water everywhere. Now the music clubs have all shut down. New York is a rich man's town. It doesn't matter if it's fair. And the only music that remains is while you're waiting for the trains. You can tip them if you care. So much free music everywhere. Well, the money just goes where it must. It's all about the boom or bust. Buddy, have you got a dime to spare? And who are you and I to kid? It settles for the lowest bid. The bottom line is where it goes. That's just the way the money flows. Doesn't matter if it's fair. Now in my new Chinese neighborhood, the people that I meet are good. It's the same thing everywhere. No matter where they come from, friend, they're only people in the end. It's not their fault they had to settle there. People, people everywhere. People trying just to be everywhere like you and me, like water flowing to the sea, going where they're meant to be. Water, 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 water everywhere.
Beautiful. My impression of New York and LA both is that they were always rich men's towns. So, sort of in that same vein and a little different. Oh, but first, the time has come for me to ask this burning question. So, are you waving goodbye? You aren't waving goodbye, I hope. Oh, okay. Anyway,
David
Alice.
is leaving.
I'm sorry?
David is leaving.
Oh, David. Bye. Thanks for coming. Alice, where are you going to be next, and where can people find you online?
Okay, I typed my website into the chat, so everyone has access to it. And where am I going to be next? My next shows are the 31st in Crescent City, California, the 1st in Florence, Oregon, and the 2nd in Roseburg, Oregon.
Excellent. And you put your, did I hear you say you put your website on the
Yeah,
chat?
I put my website in the chat. I put a link to my website in the chat so everyone can check it out. And I have an extensive tour schedule, so just click on the tour, the tour schedule button, and that'll give you. So I don't want to read my whole tour schedule here and waste time.
Okay. And Bert, same question.
Okay, I'm pretty housebound these days. I don't go out and play out of town much, but I do, in fact, go down to Philly once a year to play at a thing called the Clearfield Salon, where I'm the only folkie in the midst of incredibly talented classical musicians, and they just love my songs. So I'm the guy that's different than the rest of them, and I'm doing that in October. But before then, what I'm doing is I'm affixed to an organization here in New York called Big City Folk, directed by a wonderful guy named Niall Connolly. And we put on curated mics 2 or 3 times a month at the Vale Public House, which is up on 43rd Street and Broadway, and occasionally at the Irish Arts Center. And the talent level there is just maniacally good. So I'm always happy to be there presenting songs, and they encourage me to give the do the news songs. And I'm also wandering around the city with a friend of mine from Italy named Fabio Fantuzzi. And Fabio and I are putting together a thing called Three of a Kind Looking for a Full House. And we're going into venues that are used to having open mics or showcases, and we're going to put in a 3-performer showcase here and there, featuring a wide variety of different players. Like what I like to do is take a classical piano player, a jazz violinist, and me, and put them all on the same stage, playing separately and together. And this has been successful in the past. I used to work as the host of Cafe Vivaldi in the West Village, and whenever I put these shows on there, it was always just a great success. So that's what I'm up to. You can track my music down and any new releases I have at Bandcamp, bertlee.bandcamp.com. And you can also find me at William Elbert Lee 3 at YouTube, where you will find some songs as videos and some just as illustrated videos, not animated, but just illustrated with nice images. And there's a lot of material up online on YouTube for me as a soloist, and me with my old band, the Central Park Sheiks, the Eastern Kings of Western Swing. And recently, Jan, you might find this interesting, my old band, Richard, Cam, and Bert. We were a huge hit in the village.
That was you?
That was me. I'm and Bert.
Y'all used to play at the Gaslight long ago.
We did all the time. That's
yeah,
just a
and
fact.
I was there. I heard you many times.
There you go.
I
Well,
worked there.
A wonderful fellow put together a new collection of songs, put it on vinyl. It's on this beautiful translucent red vinyl disc, and Unfortunately, Richard passed. He crossed the Rainbow Bridge just right before the album came out. But Cam and I are still here, and people are actually buying and downloading the record and discovering that we were very good, which we were.
Yes, you
And
were.
so I dedicate my time to more to writing than going out and performing. I'm a little bit not healthy enough to be out on the road all the time. That's just a fact. I
Sad
have
to hear it.
have to take care of my health. But, 76, that's what happens to us. But here in New York, you can find me at those places. Bandcamp is a surefire place to hear new releases, very often arranged and engineered by my friend Dan Simpson from Key West, who's a monster engineer. And we make really good recordings of my songs. And you drop in there, you can find my stuff right there. And so
Excellent.
That's it.
For myself, the next one of these shows online will be with John Zipperer from California and Ken Holm, who I'm not sure where he is, but he is wonderful. They both are. I'll be doing a show here, the usual second Sunday Songwriters at Kickbutt Coffee here in Austin, Texas. My guests will be Young and Rusty, who are finally back on stage after Rusty defeated... I can't remember the name of the issue, but it's a blood cancer, and he got a marrow transfusion, and now he is just fine, and they're playing again. And Terry Klein, who is an amazing songwriter, who has a song that I request every single time I see him on stage. If you'd like to know more about these online shows, please put your email in the chat or on the DM me on Facebook or YouTube, and I will be happy to add you to the mailing list. It happens once a month unless there's something really special going on, and it's never spam, I promise. After that, at the end of June, I'll be in Minneapolis. I've got a house concert and a couple of other things lined up there that will be on my website. And going into July, or actually into August, there will be more of these shows, and then we're going to Point Arena, which is on the west coast of Northern California. And I'm going to have stuff lined up there, too, if I just get on the stick and make it happen. So that's my story. My website is janseides.com, and it's spelled just like you see it in the corner of my little square here. And on it, you'll find music and T-shirts and jewelry made from semi-precious stones and my guitar strings made by... she's going to kill me. I can't think of her last name right now. Kathy, who is the master of Love in Life art. So, yeah, come visit me. And also Jan Seides at .bandcamp.com. That happens too. So I'm going to do this song because it's been kind of on my mind lately. We had our first... I had seen the Northern Lights, one bright pink spot in the sky in New York from a rooftop long ago, to the point, and it was like amazing and also nebulous enough that I always wondered if I actually saw Northern Lights or just a pink spot in the sky. But we recently got Northern Lights here in the South, which was amazing. All I got to see was some pink-tinged clouds. Other than that, we were blocked from having any view of that. And here's what I think about Northern Lights. Magnetic fields fight their way across the sky to show us brilliant colors, the Northern Lights, and we are all reminded the beauty we have here, how fortunate we are to have protective atmosphere. And the home we share, the Northern Lights remind us, has water and air. The Northern Lights remind us that there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us. The northern lights remind us. Celestial looms weave the darkness into lights that dance above the planet to dazzle human eyes, and we are all reminded of vast eternity. How fortunate we are, however briefly, just to be. And the home we share, the northern lights remind us, has water and air. The northern lights remind us there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us. The northern lights remind us. It's a beautiful and deadly universe, and everything that we hold dear depends on our next choice. For though we send our rockets up to land on planet Mars, or lie back on the hillside to admire the stars, the northern lights remind us with their shimmering towers how fortunate we are to have this earth of ours. And the home we share, the northern lights remind us, has water and air. The northern lights remind us that there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us. The northern lights remind us. The northern lights remind us. Thank you. Thank you.
You even got some applause from Andy on that one.
That was beautiful. I got to see the Northern Lights once. We were out in the wilderness on a river trip, and they weren't, I don't know if they were the Northern Lights, they were solar flares. I mean, it looked like whatever, it was red. And we were on this wilderness trip on the Illinois River in Southern Oregon. It's like the middle of nowhere, right? It's fully in the wilderness. And we're like sitting around the campfire, and some people are experiencing some altered states of reality because we're on a river trip, and they're like, oh my god, what's going on, like, and they're looking and pointing, and I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool, like, what's going on, like, how are we seeing the northern lights that are red? Like, I've only seen the green and blue, the pictures, you know, I'd never seen red. And my friend's like, that's got to be Grants Pass, you know, and I was like, that's not Grants Pass. Grants Pass is that way. We're looking that way. That's the wilderness. There's nothing there. There's nothing out there. And so we all kind of were like, well, was that just us? You know, was that like a collective hallucination? We get home and the front page of the paper a few days later from, you know, that thing had said, solar flares, we could see the northern lights in Grants Pass and in Southern Oregon. So anyway, it was awesome. This song has nothing to do with that, but it does have to do with my local Southern Oregon family and life. It's called Rise, and it's a love song that I wrote to my community several years ago after this terrible fire. The Alameda fire came ripping through our region, burning up 2,500 homes in a matter of hours. and leaving thousands and thousands of people homeless. Several people lost their lives as well. And many of my friends, many of my bandmates, both of the drummers I have two different bands, and both the drummers in my bands lost everything in the fires. So many of my friends lost literally everything they ever owned. And it was very traumatic. Most of us had to evacuate, and some of us were lucky enough to not lose our homes. But so after that experience, I wrote this song as a love song to some of my friends and to my community as a whole. And it's a song about grief. So I like to say that because I have a really dear friend who said to me, Alice, I know you wrote this song for fire survivors, but I have, she lost her husband the year before, several months before, and she said, I feel like you wrote this song for me too. And I said, yes, indeed I did. So this is a song for anybody grieving for any reason. And it's called Rise. Those flames so hot, we think it's easy to let go of it all, till it's not. And nobody can fix it. That's the nature of pain. Grief rolls through our lives and we're never the same. So grab onto this hand, I reach out to you. Alone we are lost, together we'll pull through. Cry all your tears, let the sky rain upon you and wash out your eyes. Cry your tears, and when they dry, spread your wings like the phoenix and rise. And one day when the smoke clears, we'll see what remains. Seeds left out in the rubble will sprout towards the sun. But let your heart wail now, and let your soul scream. Let those seeds in the rubble become your new dream. Take hold of this hand, I reach out to you. Alone we are lost, out your eyes, cry your tears, and when they dry, spread your wings like the phoenix and rise. Cry your tears, let the sky rain upon you and wash out your eyes. Cry your tears, and when they dry, spread your wings like the phoenix and rise. Nothing can prepare you for a fire that hot. We think it's easy to let go of it all, but it's not. So grab onto these hands, we reach out to you. Alone we are lost, together we'll pull through.
Beautiful, Alice.
Man, I love the way you hold those notes. I just love the way you do that. Wow.
I'm also a swimmer.
Ah, the respiration. Yeah, there you go. I'm a drowner. So no, I can swim pretty good. I've just made some terrible mistakes swimming in the ocean a few times, but yeah, I can swim. Oh, okay. This is a song about Calamity Jane, and whose life illustrates a certain truth about what we call the Old West, which was that it was really kind of a sham. It wasn't, people with silver guns shooting at each other down the dusty street because they were in, the bullshit. The guy comes to town and then the sheriff has been killed, and so they make him sheriff, and he falls in love with the lady who runs. None of that happened. It was very boring in the Old West. But in order to alleviate the boredom, some people made up stories about themselves, and they were sold on the East Coast as dime novels. So people got their impression of the cowboys and Indians and all that from these dime novels. And my wife was recently involved in a play about Calamity Jane, and it inspired this song in me. And it's part of the cycle of songs that I'm releasing called Butterfly Songs of the Haunted Prairie, which will be released on YouTube in the not terribly distant future. Calamity Jane comes down from the hills like the thunder and rain, a 6-gun goddess 5 bullets shy. No one can tell if her life is a lie. Comes down from the hills like the wild night wind, everybody knows her, she hasn't got a friend, she's got a room upstairs in the Deadwood Bar. A dime novel hero and a rodeo star, shoots down dreams like bottles on a shelf, standing at the mirror and talking to herself. Jane, tall as a crane, Who can believe and who can explain if her life is a legend or the legend is a lie? She shoots her pistol at the stars in the sky. She rode with General Crook at Rosebud Hill. She shot like the devil, but she never made a kill. There's no need to kill 'em when the hard times will. She rode in the circus just to give them a thrill. Standing up in the saddle, she never took a spill. But they only came to see old Buffalo Bill. Jane, Jane, tall as a crane, lying in bed with a fever in her brain, trying to sort out all the things she did from the things she didn't and the things she hid. What is the truth and what is the lie? She shoots her pistol at the stars in the sky. She shoots her pistol at the stars in the sky.
That is so lovely. It's all the drama depictions. That's the word I wanted of Calamity Jane. You don't really think of her as a real person, and that song made you do that. That was so lovely. So I really like the image of her talking to herself in the mirror because I know something about mirrors that I didn't know for a very long time. So I'm going to sing about it, hopefully. Let's see. So where this stems from is I have I have 3 wonderful daughters. I have one of them who has done some very successful things. And of course, all of them are beautiful. But I was in the ladies with this one. And, you know, every once in a while you look at your adult children and you think of what they were like when they were small and how did they grow up to be this. Most of the time, that's a good thought. So we're at the sinks and there's a big mirror and I'm looking at her in the mirror and I'm thinking about just how beautiful she is, you know, like all of the stuff that one does. And I got to thinking about, because she looked in the mirror and started a lengthy criticism of her image in the mirror, right on top of my thinking, wow, she's really beautiful. And I recognize that everybody does that to a degree. I had somebody ask me one time, a psychologist, you're in the room by yourself sitting on a chair, there's nothing else in the room, and then you walk through the door and see yourself sitting on the chair. What do you say? And I said, you need to brush your hair. And I thought, so when my daughter started doing this thing about this criticism, I thought, you know, that's really not how this works. So this is the song I wrote for her. A mirror can show you your face needs washing. A mirror can show you if your colors match. A mirror can show you your hair needs brushing. In a glance, a mirror can help you define your boundaries. A mirror can teach you to move with grace. A mirror can show you how to stand proudly and learn to dance. But it's only a frame, and it doesn't contain you. And it's silver paint that doesn't know your name. And the glass is cold, and it will not explain to you how warm and beautiful you are. A mirror can prove you exist in space. A mirror can show you the stars. A mirror invites your searching gaze. But all it grants is a frame that doesn't contain you, and silver paint that doesn't know your name. And the glass is cold, and it does not explain to you how warm and beautiful you are. No mirror has felt your kindness. No mirror has felt your love or heard your gentle voice. No mirrors are only mindless trompe-l'oeil. They are only a frame that doesn't contain you, and silver paint doesn't know your name. And the glass is cold, and it doesn't explain to you how warm and beautiful you are, 'cause it's only a frame and it cannot contain you. And silver paint will never know your name, and the glass is so cold, and it'll never explain to you how warm and beautiful you really are. Like I do. Thank you. So what does that say? A mirror will only ever show you your image. Yes, that is the truth. Whatever you think you're going to see there is what you're going to see. Thank you.
That was so
Rick?
beautiful.
That was perfect.
I thought so. It just seemed to absolutely frame what you had in mind there.
So we have 2 more rounds, just so you know.
All right. Well, I'm going to play off of that one. I'm going to take, because I was listening and I was like, oh, there's a couple songs I feel like singing from that. But I think I honed it in onto this
Alice,
one.
we can't hear you, and I don't know
Oh.
why not. Did you change something?
No, she wasn't muted, but then she muted herself when you told her that you couldn't hear her.
Thank you, Rick. Your mute is on right now.
Okay, am I unmuted now? Now I'm unmuted. You can't hear me?
Yeah, no.
I have no idea.
I can hear her.
Wow.
You're fine.
You can hear me?
Oh,
Yes.
Janet can hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you just fine.
Everybody can hear me just fine except you.
it's me. I didn't realize it, but my earbuds fell out.
Oh, okay. All right, good. Okay.
Well, that explains it.
Sometime during the song, they must have fallen, and I just never noticed.
Oh, I didn't even notice you had earbuds. I don't have earbuds. I'm not that fancy. All right. So this is called If I Could Move the World. And I wrote this song back in the early 90s, actually. And it has stayed with me as one of my favorites. And there are times when I'm doing when I do my live shows, when I have my full band, I have to make a set list, and there are times where I just look at the guys and I'm just like, sorry, someone needs to hear this. So you guys can either not play, or if you know the song, you can play, and I have to play this one. So maybe that's what's happening now. I don't know. Maybe this is for one of you. Maybe somebody out there is listening on the YouTubes or the whatever, the Facebooks, or maybe they're in the Zoom. This is called If I Could Move the World. If I could move the world, I'd turn it upside down. Then everybody losing would suddenly be found. Maybe help me get my feet back on the ground. Sometimes it's all just working and trying to survive, surrounded yet still lonely. That little spark is dying, the one that makes me grateful for being alive. It's not like I don't know that I'm loved, and it's not like I don't know people care for me. I know they care for me. I know you care for me. It's just that I never learned how to care for myself. If I could move people's minds, I'd turn them inside out, just to hear all the loud ones quiet, and the quiet ones all shout. Give the secrets caged in silence the space to sing out. But sometimes the silence is all you've got, and for some it's a way to survive. But no matter how deeply you bury the truth, it will eat its way out from inside, and it feels like it's eating me alive. But it's not like I don't know that I'm loved. It's not like I don't know people care for me. I know they care for me. I know you care for me. It's just that I never learned how to care for myself. I could move the world, if I could move the world, if I could move it, 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 if I could. If I could move it, if I could move it.
Shades of New York Tenderberry. Laura
That
Nero.
was lovely.
Oh, I love Laura Nero. I haven't
Oh
listened to
yeah,
her in
what's
so
not to
long.
love, boy.
Well, to listen to her again, her voice and the way you were vocalizing there.
I'm
Very
sure she's an influence of many influences. You know, I listened to her when I was young for sure. So,
Sure.
yay. Thank you for hearing that. That's a huge compliment. Thank you.
Give me 1 second. Got to remember all the lyrics to this song. It takes a second.
If you're cheating, you're not supposed to tell us that you're cheating.
I'm not cheating. I wouldn't cheat. That's not my style.
Part of the game is you're not supposed to tell us.
I'll just pretend I'm tuning. There you go. Well, there's nothing you can buy, and there's nothing you can own, and all your prized possessions are just something you've been loaned. And the things you'd give the world to know are just the things you've always known. What you took for precious gems were only ordinary stones. If I could make your freedom friend, or if I could find my own, the road goes on forever when you're on your journey home. Well, there's music in the silence, and a light that flows from stones, and a crust of bread to satisfy the hunger in your bones. And the rain will cool your fever when you wander on the sands, and Mother Night will rock you in the cradle of your hands. If I could make your freedom friend, or if I could find my own, but the road goes on forever when you're on your journey home. Now put your arms around me before I fall away. I was only meant to touch you, I was never meant to stay. Just like all the stars and planets that are tumbling through the night, wondering at the moment when we find each other's light. If I could make your freedom friend, or if I could find my own, the road goes on forever when you're on your journey home.
like it's West Texas. That's what it looks like for miles and miles and miles and miles.
Forever. But it
Yeah.
also looks that way in Kansas and a few other places, Nebraska.
Kansas is a little bit greener, and so is Nebraska.
Maybe those are all just one place, and the map was designed that way to fool us into thinking so.
Maybe
I know-
so.
I know that in
life is-
Florida, once you leave South Florida, there's this one road that goes up the center, and every about 20 miles there's a gas station with a Quickie Mart next to it. And when you pass it, a helicopter comes and picks it up and takes it to the next intersection and drops it. And you can tell because it's always the same guy behind the counter.
I think
am
life
so
is a
certain.
Mobius strip.
Yeah, that too. Well, I remember like driving to California from Austin. First of all, it takes all day to get out of Texas from the middle. And the same rolling desert hill went by. I lost count of how many times. I got to the point where I was counting mile markers to see how far we were from the next place that was going to look different. Other than that, it was absolutely the same all the way. I'm going to change the subject, however. If I had it to do over, a mulligan for all of those mistakes, maybe I would take it slower and think about the reasons I should wait for the other shoe. But then I wouldn't be with you. If I had it to do over, a second chance to turn and walk away from all those careless promises and all the times my trust was betrayed 'cause I didn't have a clue. But then I wouldn't be with you. You are the reason I still believe a guardian angel watches over me. So if I had it to do over, an opportunity that few receive, I might be lying here tonight, dreaming dreams that probably would never come true. So I wouldn't follow through because then I wouldn't be with you. Thank you.
That was really beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Glad you liked it. So this will be our last round.
All right. All right, well, I'm going to leave you with another earworm, just in case that last one didn't do the trick. This song, well, I have a friend who's watching the live stream, and she texted me and said that she was watching it on Facebook. So This is her favorite song, and she lives in the town where I'm playing next Friday, but she won't be able to be there because she has an appointment. So I told her I will sing her song for her. So this is for you, Leslie. I will sing her song for her here instead, since she's here. So the chorus, I'll sing for you once, and then you can hopefully catch on by the end. It goes like this. She was singing, "Oh no, child, just dry those tears from your eyes. You gotta ask for what you want before you get it. Oh my child, you just got to make up your mind, and what you need'll come to you, and you know it. Come on and show it." So it's, "Oh no, child, just dry those tears from your eyes. You gotta ask for what you want before you get it. Oh my child, you just got to make up your mind, and what you need will come to you, and you know it." And I wrote this song when I was a whopping 21 years old, maybe. And it's a long time from now. That was a long time ago. And I realized I'm not going to really get the full meaning of this song until I'm rocking in my chair, hopefully at like 98 or 99, and then maybe I'll finally understand it. So till then, I'm just practicing. So when you're singing along, don't worry about doing it correctly, because I'm just practicing it too. Last night I was dreaming I had troubles in my way, looking for the comfort of my mama far away. I was walking down an old dirt road, tears streaming from my eyes, when a wise old woman come up and asked me why. And she was singing, "Oh no, child, just dry those tears from your eyes. You gotta ask for what you want before you get it. Oh my child, you just got to make up your mind, and what you need'll come to you, and you know it. Come on and show it." Well, this old woman smiled like gold, and her words came none too soon. My eyes got wide, my tears they dried, and I got a smile on too. And as I looked her in the eye, I saw myself on down this road, helping some little girl lighten up her load. And now I'm singing, "Oh no, child, just dry those tears from your eyes. You gotta ask for what you want before you get it. Oh my child, you just got to make up your mind, and what you need'll come to you, and you know it. Come on and show it." "Well, there's just one thing I'll tell you," she said, "before I walk away. It's your own life you're living, you got to start acting that way. Don't you follow any person. Be wise now, girl, be smart. Don't you follow any orders unless they line up with your heart." And she was singing, "Oh no, child, just dry those tears from your eyes. You gotta ask for what you want before you get it. Oh, my child, you just got to make up your mind. And what you need will come to you, and you know it. Come on and show it. You just gotta show it. Act like you know it. Come on and show it.
Earworm successfully planted.
Yay, thank you, and thank you all for having me today. Thank you to Jan for having me here today.
It is
It's been
my
a great
pleasure.
honor.
Okay, I guess it's up to me to do my last song now and then pass it along to Jen. I just want to take this moment to say what a pleasure it is to be in this Oreo cookie that I'm seeing here between you two talents. It's just mind-boggling because you both sing and play so beautifully. And I thank you, Jen, for inviting me into this.
It is absolutely my pleasure, Bert, and you can't imagine how thrilled I am to realize that you were part of Richard Camembert.
There you go. There you go. So I'm going to close with what is very often my own closer when I'm playing in some saloon. It doesn't happen very often, but it's my closure, and it's sort of a jazz tune. Well, the time can go so slowly in a barroom late at night, where the people move like ghosts through the smoky candlelight. And the band is playing something that's got distance, man, they're cool. In the shadows of the back room, some old boys are playing pool. And this blue light music has got me sinking into deep amnesia. I get the funniest feeling, it must be deja vu. I'll tell you something, brother, just one time through will do. And it all comes back so clearly when I only stop to think. And on that note, I think I'll go and have myself another drink. And this blue light music's got me sinking into deep amnesia. There's a joke I'd like to tell you, but they say my timing's off. And before I hit the punchline, I always take a drag and cough. And that's just another nasty habit that I really ought to break. Oh, but if I don't, you know that won't be my first mistake. Now the bartender calls me buddy, and the waitress calls me hun. And the only song I request all night is Mother Nature's Son. Oh, but the band, they just can't swing to that, so they play some Miles instead. And these crazy syncopations are all just fucking with my head. And this blue light music's got me sinking. Well, it's getting close to closing time, and the bouncer starts to loom, and the manager is turning out all the lights around the room, and the chairs are on the table, and the band is getting paid. I leave here trying to hang on to those memories they played. And this blue light music's got me sinking into deep amnesia. And this blue light music's got me sinking into deep amnesia.
That was so nice.
I thank you so much. I thank you so much.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so this is my parting shot. Sunlight splashes on the tablecloth. They reach across to take the offered hand. They make their plans. Conversation deepens, their eyes meeting, gazing soft and warm as new dreams are born. It's a modern tale and a timeless pattern. Two lonely souls find one another. Love is love is love. That's all that matters. Love is love is love. In the painting on the wall, watercolor dancers call across time and space. Come take your place. And they can hear the music play, a serenade to destiny, a chance to join the dance. It's a modern tale, a timeless pattern. Two lonely souls find one another. Love is love is love. That's all that matters. Love is love is love. And all that matters in the short run is all that matters in the long one. And all that matters in the long run is love is love is love. It's a modern tale, it's a timeless pattern. Lonely souls find one another. Love is love is love. That's all that matters. Love is love is love is love. Love is love is love. Thank you.
Good show.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Alice, and thank you, Bert, for saying yes to this. It is absolutely my pleasure to have you here. Alice DiMaselli and Bert Lee, please visit the chat or the tip jar in the comments. And thank you all for being here. We'll have another Any Sunday Songwriters on June 2nd. It'll be John Zipper and Ken Holm. It's going to be a great show. You should be there. If you don't have the details and you would like them, either DM me on Facebook or YouTube, or send me an email at jan@janseides.com, or drop your email in the chat here. Thank you once again. I'm going to stop the stream now, but stick around.